Hey everybody, this is Dark Guardsman with a quick news video. I'm going to be trying to make some of these videos more often. Normally we release news on Wednesdays on our website, but our intern has not been keeping up with that. And to be honest, most of you don't care to read. So we're going to be trying to move to a video-based news release system where you guys can listen to the audio and not really have to care about the video because there's not a lot going to go on the screen. But for this week's news, MFFS is not being updated this week. I released on Twitter saying we had an update. It was a false positive. We had a third-party developer update the mod, but on further review of his code, the update was not sufficient enough for release, so we ended up having to backport and go back to the slow grind process of updating code. Right now, me and the Numero are about 20% through the code, so it's going to be probably another month before we get everything finished. Because even after we update the code, there's a lot of testing that has to be done because the code was written back in 2014, and not only is it being updated, it's being converted from Scala to Java and then being implemented on another library. So there's a lot of stuff that will break. But other than MFFS, because yeah, this is going to be a while, ICBM hopefully will be getting an update this week. I can't promise anything because with mod development, things happen, life gets in the way. But I will be trying to implement some new content this week. I'm hoping to get some EMPs going, so that way when we get MFS out, you guys can EMP the force fields. But other than force fields, you guys can EMP pretty much everything. So I'm going to be implementing a generic EMP, an IC2 exclusive EMP, a thermal expansion exclusive EMP, and then one for Buildcraft stuff. The Buildcraft one will probably not actually be an EMP, but a pressure wave bomb because of the pipes act more like pneumatic tubes than they do like at power lines. But I'll work that on the crafting recipe details so you guys don't have to worry about that, because in reality the code for all three will be identical to each other. Other than ICBM, the single block mods have been updated mostly to 1.8, 1.9, and 1.10. We're still working our way through them and fleshing the content out. Some of our other non-mod based content is being updated. We're working on the announcement mod, account sync mod. We have a couple new plugins in development. There's a multi-world inventory mod that we will be working on the next few days. That mod will be pretty quick to implement and will allow you to control the player's inventory per world, including what items can be taken in between worlds and which worlds contain which inventory. For example, you can have the overworld, nether, and end have one inventory set, but then as soon as you go to, say, a Mistcraft world, that Mistcraft world has an exclusive inventory. Even though in Mistcraft's case you could have controlled that via the portals, I believe. But this is designed for other plugins. So other than that, we'll be doing another new single block mod that'll be mimicking the open blocks elevators. This mod was requested because people wanted to use the elevators without using open blocks, and I don't see any harm in creating something similar that isn't a derivative. So we'll end up implementing it and giving its own little flair to make it unique from open blocks, while at the same time allowing the same functionality of being able to hit the jump bar and go up and shift bar to go down. I'll probably implement two versions, one that uses a ray trace, which will be really quick and fast, and another which will use a little bit slower iterative, but will allow you to go through several layers of blocks. We'll also be color coding them, and potentially, if this works out well, I'll maybe even working on a teleportation mod. I still have the code from an older version of Minecraft for a mod which was called Teleport Signs, which didn't actually use signs, used a proper texture system and actual models. And I believe I have screenshots of it if I can find it here. See my massive meme folder. If I go in here, go projects, well, yeah, teleport mod. So this is a mod I've been wanting to revive for a while. It was a mod I released back in 1.2.5 Minecraft, and it's really simple. We had a multi-block teleport pad that could be expanded any size. very basic single block teleport paths and then teleport signs. And this was designed to replace the need for a bucket plugin to do the same thing and add a little bit more immersion in the world. These are designed to be magic-based runic, and if I probably re-implement them, I think I'm going to make an attempt to tie them into Thaumcraft because Thaumcraft research makes sense for this type of system. But other than that, just manual updating. Also, my studio, Built Broken Studios, has partnered with an indie game company in Canada, whose name I will share later. But the company is run by a buddy of mine, Max Wolf, who was the developer of Mad Science. He's working on a new game that's based in the 90s in space, where mankind in the 70s had diverted off into an alternative history to develop faster than light travel in the late 70s instead of what most games do, which is like the 2100s. So this adds for really interesting gameplay, and the gameplay is pretty nice. It's got that nostalgic Doom quality to it, if you're familiar with the old Doom games. So rather than going after 3D models, the game shoots for 2.5D characters, which surprisingly works out really well. The game's in really early alpha states and will not be released until next year in March. At least that's the goal. But our studio is going to be partnering with his to work on the game. Um, so that's going to be taking up a lot of my time, so updates are going to be slower than normal. And then, of course, I'm still doing my freelancing projects. So that's the main reason why releases have been as slow as they are. But those are finishing up. I'm down to my last 4 now. So 4 more projects left, and it'll just be modding and indie game development. But yeah, that's it. Pretty quick news update. As well, if you haven't noticed already, thanks to your guys' donations and reward points from Curse, I've managed to acquire a studio grade mic. I paid about $25 for the mic and an additional 30 something for a phantom power supply. I'm currently not using the phantom power supply because I mistakenly forgot to buy a audio drop cable. But the mic's working out pretty well, and the quality's a lot nicer than the wireless sets that I normally use. It's even better because I previously bought a desktop directional mic before this, but that mic would pick up everything like cars running. I literally could hear people talk in the Walmart parking lot, which is about 1,000 feet from my house. So that didn't work out when I grabbed that a couple months back. But this mic is working really, really well. I don't even have to put noise filters on it. I also came up with a really cool trick here, if I can get it to pop up. I'm using TeamSpeak to filter the audio for this video. Cool trick I found on a forum, a real easy solution. Beats running virtual audio cables through sound filters and then still ending up having to video edit. I absolutely hate video editing, but that works out. Coding's going good. And one last thing, which I'm pretty sure you guys saw, we have a StarMade server up to the public. We're going to be testing the public access for it because we're still not sure we have enough resources on the server we have to allow too many players on. But the server is open to the public. Anybody can get in. However, don't expect the server to be peaceful. It is a hostile PvP orientated server. So you may be attacked. However, we may work on a PvP opt-out system just like we do with a lot of our servers. That way you don't have to PvP. But the server IP is right there. It's essentially the same IP as our TeamSpeak is. Our TeamSpeak is BuiltBroken.com to get into the TeamSpeak. Anybody's welcome to use it. And the server is the same thing. So you can just type in BuiltBroken.com in the default port and connect to the server. Server's pretty fresh. It's only been running for a day, so you don't have to expect people setting up ambushes. And of course, like any generic server, no spawn camping, no harassing, just generalized be nice to each other, but still free to engage in PvP combat and various other tasks. And that's it so far. I will try to get some more videos out here soon, and I'm going to be re-recording some of the tutorials with this mic.